Hey, Emmett Ferguson here, and I just wanted to talk about this amazing wok that I got yesterday. So this is a Toutrop, I guess that's how you pronounce it, Toutrop wok, and it is a 14-inch wok. I got a large wok, and I also got it with a cover. And this is, I just made one fried rice meal yesterday, and I gotta say this is gonna be a game changer for me because prior to this I was cooking with just a really either shallow pan or a full pot for any sort of like soups or anything. But this is large enough that I can cook both soups and I can make some stir fry in it, and it's just absolutely fantastic. This is the first time I've ever had a wok this large. So again, this is 14 inches, and I just want to make this video on the stove to have like a comparison. So obviously it's very big, and it takes up a large surface area. So if you're trying to cook like multiple things at once, you do have to manage your space a little bit. But there are different sizes of this wok. I think there's a couple smaller ones. But in general, so far, very happy with this. I cooked the fried rice yesterday and none of it got stuck. I tend to use really high heat, and sometimes the food gets stuck and like little rice particles get stuck and solidified on there. But I cooked it last night, washed it off, it all came off really easy. I also think that the material, it says it's PFOA free. I don't know exactly what PFOA free means, but I think that means that it's made with a material that's less harmful chemically as far as metals go. But it's really interesting design on the inside. I don't know if that's just for decoration or because it actually has like a purpose to help, distribute the heat. But I'm sure it's got a purpose. It is ridged, and I wonder, it has some ridges. Each of these lines is its own little ridge. And I just wonder if basically, if that's because it helps to reduce the impact of, well, not to get too scientific, but to reduce the impact of things getting stuck on it. But overall, if you're looking for a bigger wok, this was as far as my personal experience with it goes, this was a pretty good choice. And I'm about to make some bacon and eggs in it. Gotta wipe this off real quick. Let me do a little wipe off, have some water in there from last night. And we're actually gonna just get right into it. So I'm gonna cook some bacon in here. This is honestly a little overkill for bacon. This really is a bit of overkill for bacon, but why not? Why not push it to the limit? I'm gonna make a BLT in this thing. So let me get some other supplies ready. Oh, you know what? Let me just get started. Let's turn up the heat. I got a power burner. This thing heats up really fast. So what was also valuable for me, important for me for this is I have a really high heat stove, much higher than I've ever worked with before. Therefore, I felt it was important to get a wok that could sustain the heat and also like the width of it, right? So if I had like a smaller pan to cook in, then the heat's gonna be wasted because it's going around the pan, right? But if I get this really nice big piece, I'm gonna get a nice distribution of just heat all around this entire thing. And I'm just really looking forward to cooking some really interesting dishes throughout this entire, it's just water boiling. But we're gonna heat up some bacon in here. I think 4 strips of bacon is good for a BLT, right? So knock out 4 strips of bacon. Let's see, 1, 2, actually, you know what? Let's do 3 strips. I think 3 strips is good for a BLT. I'm gonna make one for myself and one for someone else. But also the thing with this is, the thing with cooking in this pot though is it's rounded, right? It's a wok, so it has a little bit of a rounded surface, which means that maybe you don't necessarily want to, you wouldn't necessarily want to cook bacon in this, right? Because it's rounded, you're not going to get the nice flat smooth bacon. You just want a nice large surface area, but you can do whatever you want, right? Whatever works. If it works, then it works. And let me clean my hands off right here. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. After touching pork, good to wash your hands. And I'm actually going to use some chopsticks because I don't feel like feel like getting my tongs right now, but I'm gonna use some chopsticks to spread this apart real quick. Get some chopsticks. This isn't recommended. It's definitely recommended to use like a real tong, which I actually might end up getting in a second here. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my tongs. I was unprepared to do this much cooking for this video, but now it seems like I'm gonna have to. Get some tongs right here so we can flip our bacon. Flip our bacon. And you know, just for the record, this is not a bacon cooking tutorial or anything. This is really just a quick demo of this this new wok that I got. Nice little demo. And let's go like this. I'm gonna take this and pull this over, pull that over, and let it simmer down there. So you can't actually see the bacon, so maybe if I move this a little closer, huh? Tilt this up and move it closer. Try this. By the way, not a cooking tutorial right now. Just a bit of fun experimentation with this new device here. Love testing out new things. Can actually cover this. Let's flip it and cover it, huh? Let's do that. Let's do something fun. I want to just flip my bacon. I like my bacon really crispy. Some people like their bacon not crispy, but I like my bacon crispy. So just let it cover and sit for a second or two. And I'm going to throw my piece of bacon on here. We'll do like a little BLT type deal. Good old BLT. This is a very plain BLT, not a typical, not going to be your typical BLT here. I didn't have the exact right ingredients. Oh, which means, speaking of which, I gotta cut some tomatoes right now. Oh, let's get that. That is burning. Let it go. Get the fan going. Oh, BLT. Bacon was cooked a little too long, but let's go with this. I'm going to throw that onto our plate here. You know, it's not too bad. Not too bad. It's extra crispy. BLT tends to cook really, tends to do well in high heat, I guess. But as you can see, so we're just going to let this soak for a little bit on our little basket here. Let's get creative with this. Let's throw some of this bread into this bacon oil that we've got going on. A little bit of bread in this bacon oil to let it cook and simmer. Let's see. Let this soak into the bread. Just toast the bread for a second. Oh yeah, look at that toast right there. Ooh yeah. Oh baby. Yeah, that looks good. You'll leave it soft on the outside, so It's a nice toast on the inside. You get nice and I'm going to leave it soft on the outside. And then now we're going to go ahead and make an egg here. Let's go ahead and cook an egg. Let's crack an egg here. Just one egg. We don't need too many. Just gonna do one egg for this. This pan's doing pretty good so far, so let's see how this works. I mean, again, this pan is definitely overkill. It's a big wok for what I'm doing, which is basically, you know, making a BLT with egg. It's a little overkill, but hey, you know, who's complaining? Let's see, we're gonna go. I don't have any romaine lettuce, so we're just gonna throw some regular lettuce onto here on this little sandwich platter here. Let's throw a little bit of regular lettuce, a little salad lettuce on top. Here we go. Here's how it's looking so far. Got this BLT going. Really, really basic BLT. All right, so far not stuck a little bit. Probably because I cooked it too high heat, but once I think it's a little bit stuck. Gotta cool it down a bit. Let's see how this goes. I really thought the bacon oil would actually work well with this. What really matters is how it does after cleaning. So I definitely need to work on my egg cooking, but you know, it's coming off. As far as cleaning goes, it seems to be pretty no stick so far. So I'm just gonna press that a little bit. Probably should have just reduced my heat because, again, what I'm getting used to is that my my new stove gets really hot. So I'm just gonna dump this on there. I'm gonna dump this on here. Let's break apart our bacon here. So we're gonna do this. Let's break apart our bacon. Got all 6 pieces of bacon, 3 pieces of bacon. Nice strips of bacon here. Cat! And this is going to be one mean BLT, I tell you. Look at that. Look at that, baby. That's a stacked BLT right there. Stacked the crispy side on the inside. And my goodness. Look at that. That's a BLT. But with that said, I'm gonna cook a second one for myself, but that's basically a nice little demo of you know, this two-throw wok. That's our little demo here, and you know, those of you that are still here, thanks for watching. And we're actually going to let's eat some of this. I love crispy egg. Burnt parts of a crispy egg, delicious. All right. Well, that was my fault for burning the egg, but thanks for being here. Take care, everybody.